Well. $35,000 Bitcoin. Never thought I'd see the day. No, of course it's here, and we're all excited about it, guys. We're going to take a look here at the Bitcoin chart to get us started off, because it has just been an absolutely exciting few hours to watch our favorite asset make a huge move to the upside. That, of course, is Bitcoin. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look. I got the monthly charts here. And who would have ever thought? I stopped looking at the monthly Bollinger Bands, not intentionally, but look at the exact support that that we had here for this massive, some are calling a God candle. Let me know in the chat if you think this is the God candle that everybody's been talking about. There's some more godly candles over here that are a little more godlike here, but the month hasn't closed. October has not closed. We could still put in, a candle like this one back here that went a 39%. Where are we right now with this candle on the monthly chart here? 28%, so not too far away. But there it is, guys. It broke through this massive uptrending line of resistance and is making a move for this potentially this upper band here, which would put us here at 40,000, the upper band of the Bollinger Band. But it has found perfect support here at the midline of the monthly Bollinger Band. I know not a lot of people, but I know that there are some people who literally all they do is just trade the Bollinger Bands, guys. Well, as I'm going to kind of sing the praises here of the Bollinger Band, I, of course, have to talk about Chart Prime as well. And it's not hard today, because if you take a look at this ridiculous bottoming call feature that's on the MVP oscillator from Chart Prime, you can see that if you just DCA'd when this MVP oscillator, now I'd think it just got released like this year, so I don't think you could have done this, but Army Piper was letting everybody know about this morning on the Discord here for Investing Bros. But look, it calls the bottoms pretty perfectly. I'm talking about this, of course, down here, these neon green histograms that pop up here. You have probably maybe 12 of them in a row here, and then you have 6 or 7 of them in a row here. If you'd have just bought in those months, right, you'd be pretty golden. You'd be sitting at, probably, if I did get up a little bit of weight to here, because there's more of the histograms, you'd probably be sitting at about a $15,000 entry, right? Assuming you didn't sell up here after buying back here in December of 19. So anyway, guys, look, we're not going to spend too much time on the charts here. I just wanted to celebrate with you guys, because this is such a monumental occasion. We still have a lot of work to do. Will there be a retracement? You bet your bottom dollar there will be more than likely a retracement. There are some things that could potentially happen that could spike Bitcoin on up to some new all-time highs from here, and we're going to get into what those might be here in the news in just a second. But more than likely, guys, if you missed out, you'll probably get an entry back around maybe 30,000. It's possible. Will it ever go back below 25,000? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. But I don't know. At this point, it's hard to say. We have to kind of wait and be patient. And that is going to be kind of my theme for the day, if there's going to be a theme, is we are in the Euphoria phase. We're starting the Euphoria phase, I should say. So you need to be able to calm the storm, right? Euphoria, as good as it is a storm. It's still a psychologically distorting force that's going to make you make decisions that are not your best decisions, right? Not your best decisions. They might be good decisions in the short term. You might feel even more euphoric based on a FOMO indecision, right? But just as easily, something could pop up in the news and make you feel as though you need to sell, right? So what do? You calm the storm in your mind, and the way that you do that, well, it's going to take grit. It's going to take discipline, and it's going to take, tuning in to level-headed YouTube channels like the Investing Bros and like many others that are on YouTube that help you to have a level head, right? And we also know the ones that come to mind that aren't so level, but sometimes those are fun too, right? Just to celebrate and have a little fun. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the news here. I am T. Shroom. Before I do get into the news, I want to bring to your attention that you are probably in profit now, right? And if you're in profit in crypto, you got to pay a little thing called tax. And if you're going to do that, you might as well go with decrypted.tax because they are the best that money can buy. When it comes to tax services, Ernest over at decrypted.tax will get you all sorted out. Now, T. Shroom, I have a business. I got a real estate company. I've got a bunch of stocks and bonds too. And I don't want to get all tangled up in some new organization. Look, Ernest over at decrypted.tax, he can help you out with everything. If you're a full-time worker, you got a W-2. If you got 1099, right, he can help you with all that stuff in addition to helping you with the specific tax challenges that you're facing here going into tax season, right? The other thing, too, is he's a tax attorney. He's not just a CPA. Doesn't mean that he costs an arm and a leg more. You just have a lot more confidence that he knows what he's doing because he does. I don't think that there's a higher level of tax expertise than a tax attorney. So you're in great hands over there. And if you click in the description of this video to his website here, decrypted.tax, you'll actually get 25% off. So I don't see any reason not to do this. Genuinely, like if you are planning on paying taxes in the United States this year because you've made money selling crypto, right, then you need to probably pay your taxes, right? And in order to do that, you may have some questions, and you can at least give Ernest a call. I believe they have free consultations. Yeah, right here. Get to know us with free 30-minute consultation. Guys, don't talk his ear off when you're in there. Do mention the Investing Bros, but get in there, get that free 30-minute consultation. Get in, get out, and then if it's going to be the right service for you, you'll get 25% off being a bro. So. That doesn't mean you have to be a member of the Bros Discord to get the discount. It just means tell them that you're a bro. And if you're a bro, if you've ever seen the YouTube channel here, Investing Bros, that means you're a bro. Argentina presidential election, Xavier Milei and Sergio Massa head off for a runoff vote here, guys. This is pretty big, and I'm going to break it all down for you, but let's first get into the details. Sergio Massa has defied expectations by winning more than 36% of the vote in Sunday's presidential election. Inflation in Argentina, in case you didn't know, is all constantly in their headlines as it's nearing 140%. 140%. The United States inflation rate is hovering right around 3%, a stubborn 3.2, I believe it is. Right, and we need it to get, the Fed needs it to get down to 2%. Right, that's their target that they pulled out of their Keynesian magic hat. That's the number they need for inflation to be at. And if they don't get it there, then they're going to destroy the economy and induce a recession. Right, but over in Argentina, 140% is their inflation rate. So they've got some issues, to say the least, and so they're looking at alternative candidates with alternative ideas. With almost all ballots counted, no candidate had received the necessary 45% of the votes needed to win outright over in the Argentinian elections. And then here's a nice, De Beers, nice. It's like the giant diamond family that has a bunch of diamond mines in Africa or something like that. That's funny. They know their target audience. I buy a lot of diamonds, guys. Mr. Milei, who had come first in the primaries in August, was relegated to second place with 30% of the vote. So the establishment over there in Argentina has sprung into action to try to reclaim some of the popular vote there. Will it be enough to overcome Mr. Milei in the 19 of November runoff election that they will be holding down there in Argentina? We shall see. Now, guys, who cares about the Argentine elections? Who cares about them? Why are we talking about the Argentine elections? Because it really has a lot to do with that 140% inflation rate. If Milei can win, he said that he will end the central bank of Argentina, which is already pretty much over. I don't really know what can really be done at this point when you have 140% inflation. I think that you have to end it, but the establishment administration is not going to do that. So it's going to take an outsider of the government, and Xavier Milei is going to be that outsider, it looks like. Now, taking it a step further, he's very, very pro-Bitcoin. And that's why we're talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it. El Salvador and the Central African Republic have both made Bitcoin legal tender. It's predicted that Milei could do something similar. in Argentina, which is, off the top of my head, I would say probably 12 times the size of either of the countries that have already legalized Bitcoin as legal tender. That would be, of course, the Central African Republic and El Salvador. And they've had raving success, at least in El Salvador. Haven't heard much about the Central African Republic and how that's going for them. But this is a big election down there in Argentina, and we'll be watching very closely. We were talking about this a couple months ago when he did win the primaries, when Xavier Milei did win the primaries. And now we're going to be talking about it again in November 19th when they have a runoff to determine the fate of Argentina. Will they continue to their inflation death spiral, or will they find freedom in Bitcoin? We talked about this next story here yesterday. The SEC ordered to review Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF application. In case you did not see this one, this is a pretty decent size headline here. We wanted to cover it. And there's also a detail that I don't think we dwelled on quite enough. While the SEC still has the power to deny the application, it would need to find a new reason for doing so, not related to this prior justification, which legally is kind of difficult. And also, it would just continue to show the gymnastics that they're having to do over at the SEC in order to continue to levy these legal charges against these crypto institutions. And it just makes them look foolish in the eyes of the public and in the eyes, more importantly, of Congress. And that is a little foreshadowing of what we're going to talk about here in the later half of the show. But guys, let's zoom out. Let's hit the chat. Let's see what's going on. Got a couple more stories here to talk about, but let's see what is going on with everybody. I'm sure there's a celebratory mood here in the chat. King D said, wait, so we not having an afternoon show? Nobody said that. 3 p.m., unless Tim has said that because of something going on in his life, we are absolutely having an afternoon show, King D. Maybe, I guess this is only the second time that we've done the 9 a.m. live show again. So we are going to be publishing a new schedule, but we're seeing how this week goes before I take all the time to make this new schedule for you guys. But right now, yeah, so 9 a.m. news show with your boy T Shroom. I'll have my necklace on, which is a very important part of it. And then Tim, as you guys may have noticed, he released a video at 8:30 a.m., which is a lot more TA oriented. And then at 3 p.m. we go live together. GS said, absolutely, Mr. J. So what did Mr. J say, though? He said, GS, I only tapped it. I hope that's okay. I don't know. Oh, the like button. Yeah, you're going to want to smash that like button, guys. Army Piper said, smashed it, Gia. Mr. J said, who sells, we hold. So let's see. Crux of Crypto in the chat. What's up, Crux? Tim went live before. T-Shroom goes live at this time. Piper goes live after this. That's right. Yes, absolutely. And we will be plugging it, Piper. Don't worry. Don't worry. $35,000 Bitcoin, guys. It's something to get excited about. Almost, I would say it's almost as exciting as the 25% off that you can get at decrypted.tax. Kathy Woods, Ark Invest, sells $5.8 million in Coinbase, Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust shares as crypto market surges. So she's buying dollars here. She's selling her very valuable Coinbase and Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares to buy dollars here. Is that the right move? Maybe, right? I'd say this is the first, not bearish, but this is the first like contrarian note here in this early moment of euphoria, right? A noted Bitcoin advocate and Bitcoin bull is selling Bitcoin-related assets. Now, this isn't Bitcoin, right? These are Coinbase shares and Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is GBTC. It's not even an ETF, it's a trust. Is this bearish? I don't think this is bearish. I think this is Kathy Woods doing the right thing, right, as a risk manager for her clients. As Bitcoin jumped over 10% amid renewed hopes of a spot ETF approval, Ark Invest opted to sell some of its Bitcoin-related assets. Now, another reason why she might be selling is to free up a little liquidity to fund the Ark Invest ETF that's going to be going out. I heard a lot of conversation last night on X Spaces, which, by the way, you can follow us at Investing Bros on X Spaces, that it's complicated, like how these ETFs get funded. If you think about it, how does that initiation work? How does the Bitcoin get into the ETF initially? There's a lot of question marks around that. You kind of need to have been in the industry to really know that. Nobody really seemed to know in the X spaces, and it is an interesting question. Where does that Bitcoin come from? Does the buying of the initial Bitcoin constitute, is that going to have a effect on price? Presumably it would. Or is that Bitcoin just, given to the ETF in a way? Is it bought maybe, and then maybe the purchase is prorated with an interest rate, right? And so that doesn't shock the price because it's basically just given to a BlackRock, right? In some way, paid for over the counter. There's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. There's probably limitations to the left and the right of what's legal to fund an ETF initially. But anyway, maybe that's why she's selling to fund that ETF. But in any case, she is indeed selling here, so you can see kind of what they were doing here. And indeed, you get a sell here from Coinbase. And I'm sure, GTPC right there, also a sell. So taking some profits. And it's not a bad thing, though. It's not a bad thing to take some profits. We're going to talk about that a little bit more here in just a second. It doesn't really say whether or not it's a buy or sell. That's kind of annoying. Maybe they're all sells. I tend to doubt that, though. There's some names in here would make a ton of sense to sell right now. All right, let's keep moving, though, here, guys. This was a pretty big headline yesterday. BlackRock's iShares trust has been listed on the DTCC. Have you ever heard of that? No, neither have I. The Depository Trust and Clearinghouse Corporation. So IDTC is that, I guess, IBTC, sorry. So that's going to be the ticker for the Bitcoin spot ETF from BlackRock. And that's going to be interesting to see how that goes out. In just a few months is what is predicted, but it could go out as soon as before October. I've seen predictions for that as well. But in any case, it's listed here on this Depository Trust and Clearinghouse Corporation. So it doesn't seem all that crazy to me. That doesn't seem like super important. But it is the next step here in this process of these spot ETFs getting approved. Let's go ahead and get into kind of the meat and potatoes of the news in crypto right now, which it's not all that crypto-y, I will say, but it is important. Who are the Republican candidates to the U.S. House Speaker, right? I don't care about the candidates. I only care about one of them, and that is this man right here, Tom Emmer, who the BBC is running, the image of which here, the BBC has a lot of ins in American media and American politics, obviously. But he's kind of the guy, right? He's kind of the guy. A series of secret ballot votes will begin on Tuesday morning and continue until a nominee emerges with majority support in the Republican caucus. So I was listening this morning to some X Spaces, and it does seem like this is kind of the why. Why now? Why did Bitcoin decide to pop now when we're still so far from the halving, right? We're still so far from the halving. We have months to go. So why now? Well, it appears as though that the chance of this man becoming the Speaker of the House and then spinning up a caucus to be able to oust Gary Gensler and appoint Hester Pierce potentially as the commissioner of the SEC, it has never been higher. The percentage of probability of that is never been higher. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? But that could have been the pressure to kind of make the time. Kind of fast forward to the present and say, hey, this is going to be Bitcoin's moment. This is going to be Bitcoin's year, and it could be. It could be. So we shall see. But he's got to get nominated first, and those votes are going to be cast on Tuesday morning. I don't know when that's going to be published, but that is definitely going to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So we'll definitely be following along to see kind of what happens there. Another De Beers commercial there. So I don't know why. I'm not sure why. I've already bought all the diamonds that I'm ever probably going to buy there, De Beers. All right, and here's in case you didn't think that Tom Embers actually was pro Bitcoin. Here, getting to 920 Piper. I know. These are some of the comments he said. The crypto community will build with or without us. Congress's job is to develop common sense, innovative forward regulations so opportunities stay here at home and Americans can adopt this technology with confidence. Some people might say confidence. Crypto donations to Ukraine have totaled almost 100 million. 40% of the vendors supporting Ukraine have accepted crypto as payment. Banks in Ukraine are not operating. Crypto exchanges are operational 24/7. Crypto is essential. So Tom Emmer, back in March 24th, 2022, that kind of made a little bit more sense of a comment in that context. Now, popular opinion has shifted a little bit. The U.S. is not behind China on crypto. CBDCs are not crypto. They're a government surveillance tool. Crypto creates freedom. It doesn't destroy it. Another day, another baseless rejection of Bitcoin spot ETF, said Tom Emmer back on the January 27th. So you kind of get the idea here. He gets Bitcoin. And that is this man here who is going to be running as no, he's not running. Nobody's running here. These are potential nominees for Speaker of the House. So they have to be nominated, and then they have to get voted in by the House. So that is yet to happen, but he seems to be the front runner in the media. If you guys see any polls out there of this race, of the Speaker of the House race, send them my way on the Discord or DM or something like that. I would love to take a look. Well, we don't live in a bubble, guys. There is still trading going on in the New York Stock Exchange. As much as they wish they could probably have my job of reporting on this exciting new asset class that is crypto, there is still stuff going on there, and some of the investments are worth taking a look at. Although today it's kind of hard to compare, but you do get get some pre-market publications here of earnings from 3M, from Coca-Cola, from General Electric, and GM, Spotify, and Verizon. So we'll take a look at those. And then also after the closing, you get some big boys, guys. You get Apple. I'm sorry, not Apple. You get Google and Facebook. Goodness gracious, do I not know how to read? Microsoft. Google and Microsoft, also Snapchat and Visa. So you get some pretty big names today, and then tomorrow you get Meta, which is a pretty big name, and Boeing, right? And why do you care about this? Well, this theoretically could have affected Bitcoin and crypto's price, although now clearly there's some forces outside of just kind of the regular ebb and flow of asset markets that are affecting Bitcoin. So, but this still could play a role, right? If we just decide to hit the snooze button and just go right back to sleep and go sideways from here, right? These headlines could potentially play a role. And by the way, GM tops Q3 expectations, but pulls full year guidance due to mounting strikes of the unions there for the auto workers. Won't get too much into that. Coca-Cola beats earnings estimates, raises outlook as volume grows despite price hikes. So this is kind of all you need to know here about the earnings, because these are the headlines that CNBC is running, right? This is what people are going to, but look at this one. Look at this headline right here. Bitcoin doubles for 2023, tops 35,000. Yes. Very exciting indeed. All right, guys, well, let's zoom out here with the last few minutes that we have together, and let me go ahead and give you all a little bit of a word of advice. Not financial advice, but just kind of human advice. What is Euphoria? What is Euphoria, and how do we deal with it? First of all, we're not in the technical phase of Euphoria quite yet. I don't think that we've felt that quite yet. I think we're entering it. We're starting to feel it a little bit, right? But we're definitely not in the full swing of it, and we're definitely not at the peak, right? So what do? We have to calm the storm of our mind, right? That is getting bombarded with information. Your super rich uncle's calling you and saying, "Hey, man, thanks for giving me the tip on Bitcoin. I just made $300,000, right?" And then you're looking at your portfolio and you're only up, maybe $3,000, right? How do you deal with that? Well, you have to, or else it's going to start affecting your thinking. Army Piper said Raytheon earnings. So yes, Raytheon earnings probably happening as well. It would be helpful to know if they were winning or losing there. Not sure. Maybe it's worth Googling. Let's take a look. I don't think Army Piper would be bringing it up if it wasn't important. But overall, guys, you have to be careful in these markets right now, right? Especially if you're new to crypto. Drop a 1 in chat if you're watching YouTube for the first time here in the crypto space, because your buddy, made a bunch of money last night in Bitcoin. Let me know if you're a noob, right? and also consider subscribing. But you have to be careful. No matter how long you've been in crypto, this is a moment where you could be wrecked, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen next for Bitcoin, right? There has been a sudden consensus that Bitcoin needs to move to the upside, right? It's been improperly priced, right? But that could easily shift. That could easily flip on its head. What are you going to do if you're leveraged long, right? And then BlackRock comes out tomorrow and says, "Yeah, we don't think we can be compliant with the SEC. We're going to withdraw our spot ETF." Right, and then all the other ones do that as well. What are you going to do? Like, there's nothing you can do. You can moan and complain and hiss, right, all you want, but you're going to get wrecked. So you have to be careful. This is not a time to be trading leverage because it's already the market is already leveraged for you. Like, it's already crypto. It's already kind of crazy. That doesn't mean to not take trades at all, right? In the volatility, you want to take trades, but this is a time maybe to pull back on your leverage, right, and calm the storm of your mind, because you're being bombarded with information from the left and from the right, from the top and from the bottom. I'm bombarding you with information about Raytheon earnings that are here. The results are available for Raytheon earnings. This looks good. Looks like they're making more money. I'm not sure how to interpret this. I haven't been able to find this quick enough. Sorry, Piper. Maybe you could let me know if they beat or missed. That would be helpful. Well, they're up 8% in the pre-market. That's probably giving you a pretty good indication. Also, there's a war on, in case you didn't know, so that might be kind of helping out the price there of Raytheon, as they may be getting a couple more contracts this time of year than they maybe were getting this time last year. But the overall concept here, guys, is that there is some risk here in the markets, right? There's also risk that you fut out and sell and you miss the precipitous incline in this price for Bitcoin. You know, you want to be careful. You want to be level-headed, and there's no better way to do that than to be in a community of level-headed folks. Unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of people out there who just want to scream and shout and not take the time to actually think about what is really going on here, guys. And if you zoom out, we're seeing a revolution in currency, right? We're seeing a complete shift from what fiat currency has created, right, which is a debt-laden, debt-addicted economy and society, right? Credit card debt is at an all-time high, right? I don't know if you know this, but this month, student loan debt is no longer deferrable, right? It's like $30 million a month is now coming out of the economy to pay for just student loan debt. Now, some of that debt is great. Some people went on to be doctors, lawyers, you know, engineers, whatever they wanted to be. And that degree gave them what they needed to go pursue their dreams, right? But other folks are sitting there with a artistic studies degree, $70,000, $80,000 in debt, right? And they barely make $20,000 a year, just like painting murals, right? Which no shame. That'd be super cool life to paint murals, right? But did you need to get $70,000 in debt? Anyway, the old system is obviously on the way out, right? 120% debt to GDP ratio here in the United States. That's insane, right? It's not sustainable. There has to be an alternative. That alternative is here, and that alternative is being priced to the upside as we speak. Guys, be there for each other. Be slightly less sarcastic in the comments, because there's a lot of noobs who are coming into the space, and we don't want them to get wrecked, right? So be helpful to people, lend a hand, spend an extra couple minutes in Discords and on Twitter and in Telegram or wherever else you're interfacing with people. Be kind to them, be welcoming. This may be their first touch point in crypto, right? And yeah, they're probably coming in to get rich, but help them out, right? Help them and show them the way to the Investing Bros link, right? So that they can join our community and be a part of this awesome revolution from our perspective, right? So thank you all so much for watching and listening. Army Piper is about to go live here at 9:30, and we will be live again here at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are glad to do it. I'll see you then, folks. Have a great day of trading. Stay safe, stay smart, eat protein, stay hydrated, and make sure that you're keeping a level head and staying calm in the storm.
Trying to make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.